So I'm sitting here peeling some garlic, getting ready to make a dinner for tomorrow. It's a dish I like called chicken and 40 cloves, but that's beside the point. Check it out. Garlic. Anyway. And it's a semi-long, tedious process. Usually takes about a half hour to peel all the garlic I need. But it gives me time, and I sit here and I think. Usually my brain's always kind of going, but when I kind of sit in silence and I'm not really doing anything, I just sort of wander off. And I start thinking about religion, and I kind of had some videos going on YouTube, nothing specific or important or anything like that, but one of them ended, and I just kind of sat and just kept peeling away and just kind of got lost in thought for a second. I started thinking about Genesis and the Garden of Eden and like just all of the things wrong with that story. And something occurred to me that I had never thought of before. And I usually don't, in fact, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this, but it goes down to when God created Adam and Eve, he supposedly just poofed and they were in adult bodies. I'm guessing somewhere around their mid-20s or something. I don't remember if the story actually said how old they were. But it occurred to me that they basically were adults for the most part. They had never experienced a childhood of any kind. And that just sort of got me thinking about all these different things. Like, okay, so they had a couple years together and they eventually had children, obviously, and the story kind of skips around, but can you imagine like the childhood of Cain and Abel when they're talking, how old am I, Mom and Dad? You're 4 years old. Well, how old are you? I'm 3 years older than you. It just sort of doesn't make sense. I mean, they were just sort of thrown into the world with all the knowledge, everything that they should have learned as children. Did they just sort of get that? They hadn't been raised by anybody. I don't know. It sort of interested me, and it sort of got me thinking about other things like types, for example. Okay, not a big aficionado of blood types or anything, but I get how it works, how blood types transfer and things like that. But when you have two people, how do you get all the blood types that are possible from two people who originated it? For example, like, okay, you have, I'm aware of certain blood types, like there's O, obviously, and AB negative. From what I've understood, there are actually many subsets of AB as well. I'm not totally learned on that, but the argument is still sound, for at least as far as I know. But you have two people. Even if by one chance that they started off as like one was A and one was B, you can get all the ABs probably out of that, but how do you come up with O? You can't get all of the blood types just from two people. And especially since they have no lineage where ancestors handed down certain blood types or anything like that, they were the original sets, you obviously can't come up with all the possible blood types just from them, at least, like I said, as far as I know. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. I wanted to get it out because it was just sort of floating around in my mind. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear some responses to these ponderings.